And let's just take a moment and count our blessings and give a little bit of praise here for our country and for what we're doing and for God that we have that provides for us all. You guys, thank you. It's 5:20. We'll go ahead and get this thing started. Guys, we'll go ahead and call the July 15th Urbana Board of Trustees meeting to order. I'm going to start the meeting. I'm going to ask everyone to, I'm going to invite you all to stand up and join us with the pledge, please. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, guys. Oh, you guys all had a second to look at the minutes and review the financial reports. You guys got any additions or corrections to either report?
No, sir.
No. I'll entertain a motion to accept both, please.
So moved. I second it.
Then move to second to approve the minutes and financial reports. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All. Oh, Jane? Yep. Come on up and sit.
Have a front seat.
Thanks. Everybody's got their bugs out.
I know, it's bugged. It's bugged in.
I know.
Do you guys come in a bug?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm like, oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and let you guys get started.
Okay.
And then if you want to stay with me, you're welcome to. And if you don't want to get out and go find something better to do, you can do that too.
Well, you guys, listen, this is just my card, and there's a letter in here, and I've been giving it to most of the trustees. And I just appreciate you reading it. And the card, it's got my Facebook link, if anybody does Facebook. But I wish I could say there was money in these, but there's not. So, but anyway, my name's Tim Durham, and that is my wife, Kathy. And I'm doing a write-in for sheriff this year in November. The reason why I had to do a write-in is because my retirement age to be on the ballot for the primaries was in December of 2023. Wasn't able to retire yet because of my age. Then the deadline to be on the November ballot for a independent was in March 18th, which I didn't turn 52 until March 27th. So if I left any time before that day, it would have been a resignation and not a retirement. That means a reduced pension for us and no retirement credentials. And I've done just too many years in the patrol to give that up. Listen, we're not your ordinary people. We're not politicians. We're law enforcement officers. We're both retired from the highway patrol. So I let Kathy talk also because she is in this with me. So Kathy,
thanks for taking the time to let us in, truly. And I want to thank all of you for what you do. Being a public servant is not easy, and you guys get the good and the bad from people that you guys need to do this, you should do this and that. But I want to thank you. You guys always keep the township out here beautiful. Champaign County was always my favorite place to work, even though when I was assigned in Piqua and when I was assigned in Marysville, you guys would always see me up in this area, somehow, some way floating around. If we had extra bodies, I was able to come and work this area. So like Tim said, this is our home. We want everybody to feel safe. We want a better place for everyone. We're a law enforcement family. Our son is in corrections. He's a corrections officer at the Ohio Reformatory for Women, right out of high school, went there. So he's in that career path. So we're here, we're in it for the duration. It's not just a limb. We knew how hard it was gonna be as a write-in. We're not afraid of hard work. My almost 26 years in the highway patrol and his years and years of service for the highway patrol and the Division of Wildlife, we set into something and we do it. We follow through with it. But again, thank you folks for giving us a few moments of your time.
And weren't you Trooper of the Year like a couple of times?
5.
Wow,
Yeah. I've
that's
done
pretty
it
amazing.
5 years, and then somewhere out of Columbus, and that caught me by gave me the Officer of the Year, and but yeah, I believe I couldn't have been successful without good people around me, and you've got to have good people around you to be successful. And it's just not something that I did on my own. I mean, I think my work ethic's good, that my father, who was a Vietnam vet, taught me, but you're only good as your people that you have working with you. And those awards I've got the hardware at home, but it's just as much as the people, my co-workers, as mine.
It's well said. It's nice to share that.
At retirement, what was your rank?
A sergeant. Yes, ma'am.
How long were you sergeant?
4 years. I came up, and one thing I'd like to show, if I got it real quick, and I know a lot of your time. This was back in 2004, I believe. Yeah, I'm kind of a hoarder, so to speak, when it comes to stuff like this. And if you look at this was back in 2004. When I came out of the academy, I was assigned to the Springfield Post, and we as the patrol never really got to work up here that much. And it was just the relationship from the Sheriff's Department and Sheriff's Department had. There's a lot of egos in law enforcement sometimes. But I filed a grievance with the Highway Patrol to become a resident trooper up here, because that's how much I wanted to serve. I graduated from Mechanicsburg. This has always been my home. But yeah, I mean, as you see the dates and requested remedy, assigned to me a resident trooper in Champaign County. That's just how long I've been fighting to come up here. I had a commitment with the Highway Patrol first, and I had to finish that. And when I found out it would have been a resignation instead of retirement, that was just a no-brainer for us. But then I missed the deadline, and the retirement board said, well, Tim, you got to stay until April 10th because that's your anniversary date, and you get more money for your insurance stipend. So I stayed until April 10th and filed for sheriff on April 11th. So here we are. But it's evident the county is divided, and this is kind of hard for me to talk right now, because at 4 o'clock, Union County Sheriff's Department posted a post with another one of our deputies that left with 10 years service.
They did what?
Is that Tyler Reeser?
They
Yes.
transferred over to
Another one of our deputies transferred to Union County, and they just posted that on their website at 4 o'clock today. And we're in a lot of trouble. And this office is up here because we've lost a lot of people. And it's just 10 years is hard to replace it for an officer. It really is. And we got to change that. We really do. But guys, the letter should explain most of that, and my my Facebook. Guys, I've never done a Facebook page until now, so you're gonna have to excuse me. But I love my county, and I think we're not Clark County, we're not Union County, we're not Columbus, we're Champaign County, and I just think we're unique as far as that goes. But I'm not going to take a lot of your time. If you guys got any questions, you can ask now, or I'll give you my phone number. Guys, and believe me, I've heard it from both sides of the aisle, from the Democrats to the Republicans. And, well, what do you vote? Well, one, that's my choice what I vote. That's only me. But as far as law enforcement goes, law enforcement should always be neutral, no matter what you do. And that's what we've done for years. And that's what I always do, is be neutral. Because I've been to the riots at the State House, the George Floyd riots, been in executive protection, and it's just, law enforcement has to protect both sides of the aisle. But my phone number is 937-207-8441. And like I said, I'm an open book. I mean, if you got any questions for Kathy, she's an open book. But
Okay.
if anybody's got any questions now, I can take any. If not, I completely understand. Because guys, seriously, and this is honest to God, I've put a lot of bad people away in my life. When you leave the state and recovered stolen cars twice in your career, and the biggest drug bust I got was 32 kilos of cocaine off Interstate 70. But my second biggest drug bust was right here in Champaign County off Route 4, going from Springfield to Marion. But then, you got 68, coming from Findlay down to Springfield. It's all over the place. And, but we've been threatened a lot by people, whether it be a drunk driver or someone committing, a harsh crime. But I would rather deal with that stuff than dealing with since I joined this election, because it's different. It's a different ball game, and it's sad. And we've seen that with President Trump, and it's for real, because I've got it already in 3 months. So that's it. I won't take much of your time, but anybody got any quick questions or anything, or?
No, Tim, we appreciate you coming in. It's great to hear this side of it. And
yeah, and I'm sorry that like I said, we wanted to kind of scoot out from home a little, at the beginning, because we knew fairs coming up, and mentally I got to get prepared for all those long hours, and plus we're both, I'm holding 2 jobs and she's holding a job, and so we wanted to get back home, and that's kind of why we're a little later coming into you guys.
We look forward to reading this.
Yeah, it's if you have any questions, call. Like I said, I'm an open book. But
We appreciate you sharing that.
yes.
But guys, the big thing is, even as a supervisor for the highway patrol, we've got State Route 54, State Route 29. I sent my units to the township meetings, and it's probably been, I'm guessing probably when Chad came to talk to you guys, it's the last time you've seen a law enforcement officer at your meeting. The deputies or myself or a chief deputy, if I get elected, will be at your meetings. And I don't care if it's, you walk through that door, Tim, we don't have nothing for you this week. Okay, I'm going back to the road and doing what I need to do. You guys do but you guys are the eyes and ears of this township. And that's just the kind of communication that we need. If you're seeing stuff out here that the department, the office needs to know, you guys are the eyes and ears of this township, and I think every township is that way. So, I just believe in doing business that way. So, all right.
Thank
Sorry.
you,
Thank you.
guys.
So,
Take
Glad
care.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
you got that.
We get far without
You
that.
guys sit here.
Nice to meet you.
Quick reports on that. We have Sean's zoning report. I don't think for 1 month we didn't have a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Richard is starting another round of mowing. He's got 5 roads done today, I think. So we've got all the poles almost all trimmed back, and mailboxes and the telephone risers. So we've got another day of string trimming, and Richard will be able to finish up everything. So he's really making great time lately on this stuff. So that's all I have on those. So anyway, move on to old business. Roger, you got any old business to bring up?
Well, we discussed it on the last, or 2 meetings ago. We decided to go with one meeting a month. I think we just put a 3-month time limit on that, but I'd like to make a motion that we extend that at least to the end of the year, and then we decide if things are going pretty good. Go till September the 16th, October the 20th, November the 18th, and December the 16th, which is the
Third Monday.
third Monday of each month. So I'd like to make a motion that we move to that if there's any opposition.
What were those days? September 16th?
16th, October the 20th, November the 18th, and December the 16th.
September is a Labor Day where we have one of our meetings currently, which is something we didn't forecast, so that probably helps set that September date.
Well, anyway, let's do this. Is there a second to the motion first?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, so yeah, I second the motion.
Now let's open up for discussion. So it's been moved and seconded. We move for the last 4 months of the year that we have meetings on the third Monday of each month. So Matt, now let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I just was saying that one of our current meetings is September. It's Labor Day right now, set on Labor Day. And we've had fun with those in the past, so we'll have to look at the calendar and begin the year, and we'll plan these out a little better. But
Okay. Roger, you got any other comments? I mean,
No,
you stated that pretty well. Anyway, well then, guys, if there's no other discussion, we'll go ahead and we'll move this to a vote. All those in favor of last 4 months of the year, September through December, to have one meeting third Monday of the month, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. And then the first year, we'll decide if it's just going to be one.
yeah, we'll look at the calendar really well, avoid those holidays.
Well, if they're doing it the third Mondays, that's
And
pretty
we
what
will
it takes.
mostly.
Okay. Any other old business?
Old business, I've just been working on that website updates for the cemetery.
Okay.
With Sean, so things are going good. I only have about 100 more entries,
Wow.
110 or so. And I'll discuss that again with Sean here.
Okay.
Another 2 weeks.
Will that be on our website, like the cemetery stuff, or is it a?
I'm not real sure what the whole goal or plan was with the website. It might be a good idea to do that. I'm not sure what Sean's thoughts were.
He has
Original
talked
plan.
about, we'd like to show that
Yeah, I'm
on
just
the
the input
website.
guy right now.
It's whether it's going to be capable of getting, I think there was the people that did the software, there was an issue about getting it up to but he said he could solve that, so I don't.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it gonna be changeable?
Yeah, it can be updated. He can actually, the goal, his thought was to use it out at the site. But you almost have to have a cellular Wi-Fi to
He does.
use it. And then you can pull up grave sites that are actually available or not, or who's buried where, that type of thing.
Sometimes it's difficult, I think, on the website to keep it
Correct.
timely.
Oh, I
And so
see.
you hate for people to assume something's available and maybe it's not. So at least I think internally, that would be nice for Sean to have, but it's kind of like, as of this date, here's what it is,
Yeah.
but it may be changed. So I think sometimes just cautionary that, just like with the auditor's office, when they put things up, sometimes it's just for informational purposes and you can't really rely on it 100%, that they should contact.
You have to go back and verify against 2 or 3
Yeah.
other sources. Or something.
Yeah. But at least you contact Sean,
Yeah.
who can do it, because he probably,
Yeah.
I know you don't sell a lot of plots, but
He has
sometimes
lately.
it's,
He has lately.
oh, has he?
He's a selling machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see your point there, appreciate that.
How many plots do we have available?
A lot.
We do, okay,
We got a
that's good.
whole side that's not even been platted yet.
That's good.
And going through that burial book, it's interesting that you'll find people that bought 1, 2, and 3 of the, but they didn't buy the lower 4, 5, 6. And nobody owns them. And nobody knows that nobody owns them.
Yeah.
That's half the problem. So I'm seeing and noticing. So
Yeah.
Well,
So
you've done a great job
we're
putting
getting
like
there.
the history stuff on the
Yeah, we're getting
website, like, you've been doing a really good job
but it's
of
interesting.
keeping that stuff out there.
It's interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, cemeteries are just one of those things. It's nice to have, information that you can pass on that's correct and verifiable, because it gets lost a lot. And because you don't have deeds that get transferred a lot, we have many, many times where people agree that that plots will go to certain heirs, and those just sit, and we have cemeteries that get really full, and you have people that aren't, they're in somebody's name, but they don't even know, they're not gonna use them, they're not intending to use them, they may have already died and been placed someplace else, and I think that, cemetery deeds are something that I think the legislature needs to deal with some of those things in the state cemetery association.
Very good.
It's not easy. Yeah.
Thank you, June.
Thank you. Sean, you got any other old business?
Yes. So there's some confusing on zoning appeals and zoning commission appointments, and so I think we should just so everyone's on the same board, let's do a reappointment of everyone. That way we have this one, and maybe each year, instead of, oh, this person's up, we just need to go down through and put it on the record that we have them. So on the zone, if I have some of these wrong, please correct me. But I'm asking for a motion for the Board of Zoning Appeals, Roger Ward, 11/15/27 expiration. Steve Mabry, 11/15/28 expiration. Nancy Lokai Baldwin, 11/15/29 expiration. Jim Heiser, 11/15/25. And Scott Wright, 11/15/26. And Stanley Blake is listed as a first alternate. There's no date on that, so that must not be required to have a date on a first alternate, but there's no date listing on him.
So Nancy Lokai Baldwin, online, her term expires 11/15/2024.
Yes, it does.
So-
I was
so-
thinking we would reappoint her now. Since it's July, do you think we have to wait till November to do it?
I think you probably should.
Okay,
I think probably the commission is, you might want to
okay.
put a little note to yourself on your
And
November.
November
What
to,
what day is the November meeting? Did we?
or we could do it in October.
Yeah, you could do it.
18th.
November the 18th.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, let's
I
do
mean,
it.
that,
Let's do it in
either
October.
October or November, so that'll need to be marked to add on there. So then, Urbana Township Zoning Commission, Louis Terry, February 1st, 2027. Mark Randall, February 1st, 2028. Mike Phelps, February 1st, 2029. Daniel Rooney, February 1st, 2025. Mark Runyon, February 1st, 2026. So could I get just so there's no confusion, we have everyone, it's not piecemealed, everyone's together, that we're on the same page, these dates. We get a motion to, for the zoning appeals board and the zoning commission?
So you're just confirming
We're
who's
confirming.
Nancy appointed, and then Mike Phelps will have a new term.
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion to accept these dates.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Is there any other discussion about this, you guys?
Not that it's kind of aside, but you probably should for the zoning commission, probably in your reorganizational meeting,
Yeah.
since that's
Yeah.
in January, I would probably do that for at least your commission, and then,
Oh, I already added it to
Oh.
my list of things.
okay,
to
'Cause that
do
one's
in the
really close, so you can-
reorganizational meeting, yeah.
make sure that,
Okay.
and that anybody else, at least, and that should be good for, as a heads up to them that they need to have a reorganizational meeting. I know that that's been a little bit.
Yeah.
I would agree that
It needs to happen
you need to
regardless.
have a reorganizational meeting, just because you don't, the at least zoning commission does not meet
Enough.
very much.
Yeah.
And so people forget, they don't know when their term's up,
Mhm.
you know,
Good point.
people become ill, and then they're not there for a long time, and you're just trying to figure out what's going on. And then that also, if somebody does want to get off, they usually tell you right before you have a commission meeting and you don't have a board meeting in which to appoint somebody. So it's a good time to at least check in with them.
Well, it's been moved and seconded that we accept these dates that Sandy's given us.
Is that
Oh.
Roger moved in?
Yeah, Roger moved and Matt seconded.
Okay.
We'll move to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. All. Motion passed, Sandy.
Okay, so I will do post these back up here. And on the website.
And Sandy, I just made a mistake. We should have done the budget meeting first. So do we want
Oh, that's okay. Sorry, I forgot about that too.
do we want to, should we do that, Jane? Should we, after we adjourn this meeting, then do the budget meeting
Right after?
right
Yeah.
after? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Mhm.
They kind of worried about getting them out of here and sorry. Now, next thing that, just to bring up for discussion is, if you guys notice here on the desk, is that the text amendment for the nursing home was passed at LUC. Mr. Rooney and the zoning commission are convening tomorrow. They'll have a public meeting and then they'll vote and give us our recommendations. And that comes up to the next. We need to have a special meeting just to have, to approve whatever the commission decides. We can't override it if they decline it, but most of the time, you listen to your,
Yeah, you can.
yeah, do it,
It's just a recommendation
Yeah.
to you, so
Yeah.
if they recommend
not
for you to decline it, you can override it, but it has to
Correct.
be everyone
Correct.
gets to do it. But,
Go ahead.
so
please.
they're doing it tomorrow,
That's a public hearing.
okay, and
the
you
zoning.
think they're gonna vote on it?
That was their plan. Aaron has been talking to Dan Rooney.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, I'm not privileged to that stuff,
Did they
so.
post it in the paper?
Yes, they did. They helped.
Okay,
They fed all that to Dan, so.
okay.
so.
And so, you have 30 days in which to have your hearing and so on that. So
Yeah.
what
But
what time are you thinking?
But the way this worked out with the way they're having it, they're having that meeting the 16th. Our meeting is not until the 19th, so that's why
Oh,
we
okay,
have
so
to,
you have to.
we have to have a special meeting before our next township meeting.
Okay. And,
So they had it down as the 5th. That's when they would, I think that's the verbiage that they're gonna put in the they've got that all written out too, as far as the,
Okay.
I think their plan was for the commission to meet on the 16th. They wanted the township to hopefully meet on the 5th, because BZA's got to get in the middle of this yet. And see, they're on a deadline. Bancrest is on a deadline to lose their estate purchase beds for if they don't get this construction started.
Right. Kind of, which I didn't bring a copy of the code. And of course, your code refers to 519.12, so,
Yeah.
It rained a little bit.
It rained?
A little bit. It looks a little wet. I think there's nothing there.
I should have put my top up.
so you do have to have, notice out to people at least 10 days before the hearing.
I
So
saw that.
you're okay with that?
Well, I was gonna wait until they decided when it is, and then I'll do a notice and put it in the.
And that's all adjoining
And do
neighbors,
we
is that
only have
correct?
to place one notice?
You can do a notice in the paper.
So we don't have to do a letter to adjoining neighbors then?
I'm hungry.
Because the county owns all around it.
Oh, there you go.
So there's really no adjoining neighbors unless we talk across the road.
Yeah, I think you can, yeah, you do, and you have to do across the road.
Okay, well then
yeah.
there are two neighbors across the road.
So if it's 10 or few parcels that are gonna be rezoned, you have to publish the notice with who are the list of the properties, and let's see. Yeah. Oh, this is why I hate when things where, I wish it would just be in here, but. Usually you do have to get out notices to adjoining landowners, but if you only have 3 or 4, I would just go ahead and send it. to them
Well,
as
in the
well.
past, like, isn't that something that the zoning?
Correct.
Like, that they
Correct.
did that? Or is that something that we need to do? In the past, like, I feel like they provided a notice to neighbors. But, I mean, I don't mind
I
doing
think
it.
they do it for theirs,
Okay,
and then I think if it comes here, you do have a little bit more time.
When I was on the zoning commission, I was a secretary and I had to mail out letters to
right.
adjoining property owners.
And
And it only happened one day. It was,
I've done it one other time, and maybe it was a zoning book that I sent out letters. But if you're talking about today's the 15th, if you're looking at a meeting
On the
on the
5th,
5th, I
on the
meant.
5th,
you're at 20, so they're at 19 days. So, you just have to have them out. Usually they go to their tax mailing address,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you just,
I don't mind to
those
do
out.
that, but I haven't gotten anything about what this is like. Do you have what the DN, like, I didn't get anything from Dan Rooney. Have you guys gotten something?
Like I said, this is something that Sean and
So I need to reach
Oh,
out
you-
to Dan to Sean and
Yep.
say, I need this information so that I can
Yeah.
send these notices.
and the other person that you can reach out to would be to Brad or to Aaron at LUC.
Okay,
I would say we're kind of preempting, because usually they have it, then they send it to you, and then you at your next meeting and do it, but you have over 30 days, so we're outside that. So you
Yeah.
almost have to preempt yourself that they're gonna do it. So if they have a meeting, and then you can,
So what's happening is tomorrow is this meeting.
yeah,
And I'll get something from that meeting tomorrow.
right.
And then that will trigger me to place a notice for a meeting on whatever, is it August 5th, the date?
That's one of the
Yes,
things we'll have to
special
decide.
meeting.
That's one
I
thing.
think I would just have a motion that in the event you're going to, knowing that they're having a meeting and they're gonna make a decision, and it be given to you this week, that hearing will be held on August 5th at whatever time, and that Sandy will get the publication and the letter sent out. So 10 days before that.
You got a
That's
question?
probably the,
Okay,
so that would be your motion, that basically, if you get it, that's when the date will be. If it's past the 19th, somehow happens that, I mean, you have 70 days to get it to you, in essence, from the beginning, when they ask for the change. And so if something happens, then Sandy will know that nothing happened. And so she can bring it up at the next meeting then, because you don't have anything.
Go ahead, you got it.
how vital is that? I mean, what you're saying, we should schedule a meeting now prior to that 19th or.
Yeah, we have to.
This prior meeting then.
Yeah, I mean, if it's scheduled for tomorrow and you have only 30 days in which to meet, then I would,
So we can do it anytime after that, whether it be Wednesday night, Thursday night, or whatever, it doesn't have to be.
just has to be within 30 days after you get.
No,
Right.
we would have to, we can't have Wednesday or Thursday. We get our notice from them, then we place our notice in the paper, given like a 10 days
Yeah.
before our meeting. And then we have to notify the people,
Property owner.
the property owners.
So are we thinking probably that is a good time to schedule this meeting?
That's what Brad and Aaron have it down for the 5th.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, okay.
I'm just
Not
telling
that
you,
there's a lot, I don't know who's by them, but,
I
There-
think
other than across the road.
Dwayne Carroll
Dwayne Carroll
Robbins,
owns across the road.
right across the road, and Dandelions and Fred Channel Estate.
oh, okay, they're on that, and then, is ESC on the other side?
ESC, but the county owns that.
No, ESC owns
Is
it.
that right?
We sold that too.
Well, then-
ESC,
Well, then we do that, ESC then. I stand
Okay.
corrected, thank you, sorry about that.
that's right.
Well, so I will probably ask you then,
Okay.
who are these people, because you're good at getting that.
I will get that for you, Sandy.
Who owns this that I need to notify?
But isn't this still all crazy, if you ask me? I mean, we're still meeting in committees with the school, where they're not even gonna give them the tax break. I mean, I'm sorry, I just haven't been through this. It just seems like everything's kind of getting jammed.
Yeah, I mean, it
mean,
seems like this is really quick. I would have thought they would have come back to you a long time ago. I don't know if this was just missed, that they're a non-conforming use. I would assume because they, a lot of it was built, and they probably did expand
oh, they did,
somewhat there.
absolutely.
And didn't get the zoning, but it used to be the county
Mhm.
ran it, so it was a public use. Probably the township thought, okay, it's permitted by zoning because it is a public use, or it was prior to your zoning, and so it's a non-conforming use. So they're doing what they should be doing by coming to you. It's just everything's coming at one time. And it may be that Sean caught it.
Yeah, Sean is the one that caught it.
Yeah.
I mean, give the boy a bone. I mean, he said, this isn't in there. And it's like, so he calls me, he says, how can that happen when there's been things done? Yeah, it got through the cracks somehow.
Yeah, Sandy, I don't know when the county sold that.
Oh,
We were,
I was in the prosecutor's office.
yeah,
so-
it was before I came, so it was probably moved by somewhere.
yeah, and there's been a
4 or
couple
5.
editions in like in 16 and 17 that it's, I don't know. But anyway, but the city is, from the meetings I've been in, I mean, they are moving with, as far as annexing them in, so. Yeah, that's their whole desire and goal is to get into the city, so. Let's make it happen, let's get them in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I mean, this came up, well, anyway, there's still, school board's the one that's gonna be the stickler about, I mean, they wanna, have you heard what their demands are now? As far
No, I haven't. I'm not usually involved with the PERC meetings
Okay.
and what,
But they want 100% abatement for 15 years.
oh, then the school's gotta
Yeah, the
vote on it.
school is not
If
gonna,
if they want less, then the school
Yeah.
kind of gets
if it's under
excluded.
60%, the school doesn't have to be involved.
Right,
I mean, so much of this stuff has really been fascinating to learn, but it's like, I didn't realize there were so many moving parts that have to fit together to get this tax abatement. So anyway, so guys, let's talk about this as far as, or the listening to what Jane said and what Sandy said. And let's assume that, the commission is going to take a vote tomorrow. Let's get something, I want to entertain a motion that we would have a special meeting, a public meeting only. We'll have nothing else to do with, we're going to have that meeting, we'll bring it to order, talk about it. If someone's here, listen to them, and then we'll vote, and then we'll adjourn, and that's going to be the meeting.
so
Nothing
you're
else.
gonna have first, for your special meeting, you're gonna call the meeting to order. You're
Correct.
gonna
Thank you.
hold the public hearing,
Okay,
which is within the special meeting, and people are gonna talk about the subject matter on Van Crest. And then if nobody comes to talk about Van Crest, you kind of open the hearing, you close the hearing, and then
we vote.
then you make the decision to approve, deny, or modify. It's probably kind of hard to modify those. You have to, in essence, prove or deny that change in the zoning. And that will change your zoning map. Well, it might not change. your
No,
zoning
it is
map
going
too
to change,
much,
it is
but-
going to change the zoning map. And again, that's what went through LUC Thursday. I mean, that was one of the committees I'm on, and, I had to, I had to sit out of it, but, they approved it as proposed here. So it's basically just adding nursing home. That's all it is. So those two words to the zoning book. So
Yeah,
thank you for telling me what to do. I mean that. Someone needs to tell me what to do.
well, I think
I'm dumb
that's
and wrong.
unusual, but basically, if you're not doing it at a regular meeting, then you are just coming together to do that based on the time.
Okay.
And that's what you're doing. You're not having an additional regular meeting open to everything. Because when Sandy gives a special meeting advertisement, it's only supposed to be for one
Okay.
Right.
purpose.
Got you. So you're learning now too,
Yeah,
aren't you?
good.
So that's why the tax thing tonight, because even though we had a meeting, we still had to publish it.
Yeah.
That's,
We'll do that as soon as I join to this one. So 2 meetings in one. So anyway, so guys, I'm approving, I'll entertain a motion to have a special meeting on the 5th of August. And then you want to go 5 o'clock as normal?
that would be Monday, August 5th.
Yeah.
Mhm. Do I have a
So moved.
I'll
second?
second it, yeah.
Been moved and second to have a special
And
meeting.
that's a special meeting for zoning book amendment, is
Yeah.
that what you would call it?
Yes.
It would be probably yeah, it's change of district. You can probably put, either an address or whoever the owner is of that. Are they adding to the definition of it, or are they just changing the use? for the
Conditional
business?
use, yes.
Okay, so basically, yes, it's gonna be,
So changing conditional use to add nursing homes.
there's no two, is it a U1 out there?
Yes, it's you want.
U1, permitted use, or conditional use.
Conditional.
Don't say conditional use while it's in there.
You guys have been moving second to have a special meeting on the 5th of August. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Just to add,
Thank
that if something happens, Sandy said they didn't decide, they've got to take a little bit more time, maybe they didn't have a quorum, something like that.
Correct.
You can just cancel the meeting
Okay.
as the chairman of it. No use having a meeting to then say they haven't got a meeting, because most likely, unless they can do it in the next day or two after that, which they won't be able to, due to, quorum, they have to get notice out, so, most likely then they probably bump to your normal meeting.
So tomorrow after their meeting, I should reach out to Sean and make sure they had a quorum and and then I can go ahead and send out my notices and place my ad. Okay.
They're gonna have a quorum. I talked to every,
What?
Okay.
they're gonna have a quorum. I know, because I went through on this appointment thing. I went and asked, I made sure that everybody was agreeable that yes, they want to be reappointed. So, I mean, everybody said, well, see you tomorrow night. Maybe, maybe not. So you'll see Sean tomorrow night, but anyway. So it sounds like everyone's gonna be there, unless, what else I got here? I got something. Guys, you've been forwarded a resolution for some road work on Dugan Road between 29 and 36.
Yeah.
And I'd like to open that discussion. And I'm going to start out just so it's on public record. I mean, I've met with Steve McCall, and my gosh, does he give you time? He's went through, explained this, a couple different scenarios. We need to really think about taking advantage of this. And I'm not, I'm discussing. I'm not. For right now, and that this is about a $700,000 project that our part of it's going to be, I think it's 65,000. Is that correct, Sandy? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how our part's gonna cost, or the whole thing?
No, our part.
Okay.
I mean, it's we have to take advantage of this, in my opinion. And again, there's the way this is working out. There's going to be, I guess, 3 different projects. The project, between 29 and 36. I mean, that's going to be widening the road 2 feet, and it's going to have approaches to all mailbox, shoulder work, all that. So for that money, I mean, it's not a long stretch, but it's a major collector. I mean, it's an important road. It's going to become more important if they get that thing started on the other side, on the north side, for the housing development. So then it starts to be real important that this gets done. Steve was talking about, this needs to be phase 1. Phase 2, we need to save money, get ready to try to extend, resurface road from 29 to Shortcut Road.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be like a $1.1 million project. So we're going to have about $350,000 saved up on our part. But still, we can't turn that down either. And then it'll be another $1.5 million to do Dugan to Children's Home.
Yeah.
And he said for us not to jump, because he wants the developer to have to pay from the edge of the city out to 36. And he says, don't stick our nose in that until they get done with that. So he said he's going to try to get the developer to have to do all that.
This is the Walmart stuff?
Well, that's that's going to, that's going to kind of be phase 3. So,
Oh, okay.
and again, and again, these projects come up every 4 years.
Oh.
So this money I meant, so we've got time to save money, and I think we have the money for it anyway. But he just said to be wary of this about, he says, this money comes around. He says, if you don't take it, someone else is.
Mm-hmm.
He says, if we don't do this, approve this, he's got to have this approved tonight. And if we don't approve it, then the money goes to Johnson Township. And they'll more than welcome it. So, but he said, out of fairness, he'd like to split between our project and Johnson Township's project. And I think that's fair. He says, you guys could ask for all of it, but that's not a good way of acting either. So let's split it. And
what's this dollar amount again?
65, initially 65,000. There's going to be some additional shoulder work like it was on 3 Mile.
Right.
He says you don't know that until you get into it. But he says for, as much as he can budget, he thinks that's going to be, a good area to start at.
Hey Blair, I emailed him too because I didn't know how wide he was making this or wanting.
Yeah.
It's 2 feet per side.
No, I think it's going to be
2 feet total.
2 feet total, which is another foot on that. But that helps protect the berm, and that makes all the difference. A foot makes all the difference in the world.
So it's $65,536 that we would, I'm thinking that we would be looking at the gas tax
Yeah, gas
line because it's got the most money in it, which is Fund 2021. That's what I had proposed that we pay it out of.
That's what he also said. So guys, I'll entertain a motion first, then I'll let you guys discuss it. I kind of opened my big mouth first, but is there a motion to bring this to the floor, please?
Yeah, I'll motion.
Okay. Roger, you got a second?
I second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to go ahead and accept this resolution from the county to participate in the grant that Steve wrote. I'm opening this up for discussion before we vote.
So the $65,000, a little bit more than that, is that your matching money?
Yeah,
Is that
that's,
what you're paying to participate?
That's
And how
what
much you're going to get?
yeah, it was, did he
That's
have?
the local share,
Yeah, the local
Okay.
share.
for our township.
Okay.
And it says Middle Urbana Road from Knight Road to County Line Road to 3 Mile Road, from Pisgah to State Route 36.
No, that was
That's
from
the old
before,
one,
yeah.
okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Dugan Road, State Route 29 to US 36.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah, he
That
wrote.
one must be the old one.
He said they're planning on 22-inch pavement width. Is that 2 foot on each lane?
Also, I apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize. So that's even better. So that's
I
a
just wanna
4
make sure.
That's a 4 foot increase in the total width.
22-inch pavement width.
Okay.
At least that's what I'm getting from his email. That was my question. I didn't see it anywhere in his proposal.
Well, that's why I said that's why he had to send it to you. I mean, we weren't allowed, we can't talk about it until the meeting. So that's why I wanted you to make sure you read all that. So.
If you've been around here long enough, that we need.
No.
I don't need to be in there.
Matt, do you have anything else to add to the
No,
discussion?
that was my question, and he answered it. And I understand fully. I think our portions, if we don't take advantage of it, yeah, we're just kind of wasting that ability to have that widened road, especially if we do have those housing development come along on both sides. Would be nice.
Well, guys, we'll proceed to vote. It's been moved and seconded that we accept the resolution here that we participate in the widening and resurfacing, and that is hot mix, by the way, State Route 29 to US 36. um, at the projected amount, 65,000 and change, with, there could be some additional expense, at the end of the project, but that was pretty minimum on Mill Urbana and 3 Mile. But all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed, Andy. Still got the budget to do, but let's finish this meeting up. See, you got any other new business?
I don't think so. No.
So we've taken care of city appointments, your meeting. Okay. Anyway, we'll move on to comments. But before we go to comments, Jane was nice enough I had a couple questions last meeting. It was brought up that we had to have a motion to move door signs or to change any signage here. And Jane assured me that we do not need a motion for that. Is that correct?
Right, it looked like that the reason for the change was due to the zoning inspector not wanting to have people come through those back. And so if nobody had an objection, they could just be moved.
Thank you for sharing that. So anyway, just wanted to make sure that question got answered.
I do want to make sure, just going back to the commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals, are we good on that? Do we have all the motions for appointment?
Yeah.
Sure.
There was
in there have. And Roger's been on here, nearly 20 years?
Not quite.
When each and every one of you took office, Roger, Blair, and Matt, there was a customary process and procedure of having 2 meetings a month, aside from some extraordinary situation. And Roger pointed out, no, we're not required to have 2 meetings a month. I understand that, and I agree with that. But there's also nothing in there that says you can't give back half of your salary, since you're taking advantage of the taxpayers and the citizens by having less meetings, spending less time, and only padding your own pockets at taxpayer expense.
If you think that the meetings are the only way that we earn what we make, that's ridiculous.
No one said
That's insulting.
that. No one said that. This is just another one of those examples of doing as little as possible for the citizens and taxpayers at Urbana Township while padding your own pockets.
Dan, I'd like to have you follow Blair around and watch him work.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
No, I know.
I'm saying that since Roger's been here nearly 20 years, that has been the way it's been ever since he took office.
Does that matter?
Ever since you took office, ever since you took office.
How many times have you said, and I've heard you say, just because it was doesn't mean it has to still be that way. You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite.
Okay.
You can't say.
Let the kettle call the coal black, okay, Blair?
Okay,
All right.
listen, you have no idea what we do. You have no idea. And if you think sitting in a meeting.
And you so often make the statement that we are a working township. These trustees are a working township.
Mhm. We are a working township.
Okay. And you said you do so much more than any other township.
We're a working township and we do a lot. Yes, we do.
You do a lot, and you deserve credit for that.
Thank
I'm
you.
not disputing that whatsoever. But it's not quite the picture you paint. If everyone being such a working township.
Where does he paint this at?
I'm sorry?
Where is he painting?
I'm sorry?
Where is he painting that information? You said painting.
Please repeat. I'm so sorry.
Dan, you said it's not the information that he's painting. Where is he not painting?
from the information in previous meetings, if you go back and look at the minutes, how he, gave the information that said, Roger and Paul and everyone have worked so hard, at the cemetery doing this and doing that. When in essence, Blair told me personally that he did the work, but just wanted to give them credit.
We do it together.
I'm sorry?
We do it together.
When I was here on June 24th, I spoke with Richard. I think Matt was here that day, working in the office. And Richard stated that he told Blair that he is perfectly fine with smoking outside and away from the building in the shop. Correct?
And to be honest with you, he's been doing that.
But he did say that to you?
Yeah, he said that. And he hadn't even been smoking in the building lately. That's his business.
Good.
I think that's 5 minutes, Dan.
Well, I think Mr. Durham went well over that.
Well, you've been well over it too, sir.
Okay.
You're 11 minutes right now.
Okay, he was 19.
Well, again, it's my decision about, it's my prerogative. I said 5 minutes starting out. That's where we're going to stop at. I will entertain a motion.
And Blair, you also said at the last meeting, I'll offer this onto the record, that at the last meeting, you said, number one, we haven't done anything about the smoking and the exit from this room because no one has inquired about renting the hall. Correct?
I guess.
All right, well, it's not only about renting the hall, there are other public meetings here. There are Board of Zoning Appeals, there are zoning meetings, now there's going to be a special meeting open to the public. And the second fire exit right there, then would subject them to the smoking area.
Okay.
In Matt, at the last meeting, you made the reference of, is secondhand smoke measurable? Where in the Ohio Revised Code or Ohio Administrative Code does it say it has to be measurable? Or does it just say not permitted?
That was my question to you.
So I'm asking you,
What's that?
so did you find out somewhere that it must be measurable?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Okay, you've exceeded your time, sir. So anyway, let's go ahead.
Now, you said that these signs were donated by,
Do what? Let's go.
you said the signs were
Okay,
donated
okay, make a
by
motion. Go
anonymous
ahead.
donors.
Make a motion here.
Who
To
approved
accept-
the verbiage of those signs?
Is there a second?
Okay,
I
here.
second.
Who approved
Okay.
the verbiage of the
I'm
signs?
sorry, I'm not able to hear what is it, are you on?
They move to go ahead and to pay billments and distribute checks. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
And I'll
Okay,
talk onto the record that those signs were inappropriately designated. The person as the anonymous donor, so to speak, did not have
You got it.
authority
You have a
to
motion
raise
to
the
adjourn.
verbiage on those
Is there a
signs.
second?
Second.
Dan,
Yep,
you're becoming disorderly.
yep.
I don't really want to, as a prosecutor, not say to you, you're being disorderly to a meeting that's going on. He asked you, as the chairman of the board, to cease. I get that you want to do so, but
And
But
we
you're gonna
also
have to
get that
say this
Mr.
to a
Durham
different-
spoke
I don't
considerably
care.
longer than I was
he was
permitted.
welcome to it. If Blair had
He was
asked
not
him
on
to
the
stop,
agenda.
that's fine. But I
You're
believe
right.
he's the only one. You've also talked about various meetings you've been to that raised the same thing. So,
No, they're not all the same.
well, I believe you're talking about signs, smoking, all those things.
You know, things that
Again,
then I get cut off, so then I have to bring it, the rest of the matter up at the next meeting because of the improprieties and the good old boys club and the shenanigans that they like to pull.
Well, I.
And it's very
you-
funny, Blair.
you-
Oh, it is funny, Dan. It's really
It's
funny.
very funny.
Because,
You know, I really thought that your school
All
tactics
right,
of being
that's
a liar
enough, that's
Okay.
go
enough.
far
You
beyond.
can go.
And so can you.
I can't.
Yes, you
I will
can.
escort you out. As the prosecutor, you need
I
to
can
go.
care less whether you're
I am
a
the legal
prosecutor
counsel for
or
this
the fairy
court.
godmother
You will
or
need to
whoever
leave.
you are.
You will need to leave.
Let's,
You are being disruptive.
you want to go ahead and call the sheriff. Let's go ahead. We're going now go into the public meeting for the budget.
So I just want to make sure that I got, was it, Roger moved to
Yep.
pay the bills and Matt?
Mhm. And we moved to adjourn?
Seconded. Did you, was there a roll call on that?
Yeah, we'll vote for that.
Thank you. Okay. I can move to, adjourn the
Yep.
second hearing.
Thank you, Dan.
You're entirely welcome.
So the next meeting, will be a special meeting, August 5th.
5th, 5 p.m.
Okay. And then, we can do the tax.
Okay.
Well, we can adjourn this meeting.
Yep, we've already adjourned it.
Okay. Put that in there.
Guys, we'll open up, we'll call the budget meeting to order. And you guys have a minute to be able to look through this.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions or comments to Sandy about this?
I know that, Matt had reached out to me about having some questions about it.
Yeah, I like how
I think it would be, easier. I think I gave you the codes as to what each of those funds
Right.
means. Basically, I don't know if you'll explain it anymore. Basically, every fund within the fund has, pretty much the same lines for receipts and for, expenditures. And then we budget pretty much all of our money. It's not like what you were referring to, a department where you get an amount of money. It would be like having all of the funds. So, the reason that we try to budget everything is in case something comes up with a roads where you need to make a big expenditure. You don't have to go back to the budget commission and ask them to re-give you money. So that's what it is. But this is simply, I talked to Karen Bailey about this. It's simply a status of your township, financial, so they can see if you're in some type of fiscal state before you go into the new year. And so that's why we do this. I mean, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I mean, we had townships that have gotten into fiscal watch and fiscal
Yeah.
emergency, and they're not using their funds correctly, or they're getting
so anyway,
in the red.
we need to get this, approved. I will turn it into the county auditor, and then they will send us a certificate, and we use that. And then it's basically, she'll say, not you're in good fiscal position, but she'll show kind of what she projects that we're gonna have for the following year, based off the inside and the outside millage.
Anything else?
No, that's fine. That's kind of my question.
Roger?
Good.
Well, seeing this, I'll entertain a motion to go accept this budget as proposed.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to accept the budget. Sandy's set forward to us. All those in favor say aye. Motion passed. Accept the motion to adjourn this.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
All right.
Motion passed.
Can I get a copy of the budget, please?